The year was 1480. 27 years earlier, Mehmet the Conqueror raised minarets at the magnificent Hagia Sophia in Constantinople. Now he was ready to take Rome and raise minarets upon the incredible Basilica of St. Peter. But then, the Christian men of Otranto stepped into history. This is Hadrian's Villa, here in Tivoli, first built by Roman Emperor Hadrian in the early 2nd century. Now, over the years, a number of Roman rulers used this villa as a way to escape the pressures of Rome. In about 312 AD, a Roman ruler named Constantine was facing major pressures, entrenched in a bloody civil war for the control of the Roman Empire. According to tradition, he saw a vision in the sky of the Greek letters Chi and Rho, the first two letters of the name Christ in Greek. It's also said that he saw a message in Latin, which translated says, "With this sign you shall win." History records that Constantine had the Chi Rho symbol painted on the shields of his soldiers, who went on to win a major victory the following day. As a result, Constantine became the undisputed emperor of the entire Roman Empire. A year later, Constantine issued the Edict of Milan, which made tolerance of Christianity the law of the land. He went on to establish his capital in Byzantium, renaming it Constantinople. And by 325, he called the First Worldwide Council of Christian Leaders at Nicaea, which resulted in the first universal Christian creed. Despite generations of persecution, churches were planted, bishops were appointed, and in time, a vibrant Christianity began to replace the decaying culture of the Roman Empire. Schools, orphanages, medical clinics, and feeding centers sprang to life, modeling the compassion of Jesus Christ in a harsh, dog-eat-dog world. Within 350 years of Jesus Christ, Christianity went from a tiny, persecuted minority to the dominant majority faith in Southern Europe. With the rise of Muslim invasions in the 7th century, the Christian centers at Antioch, Alexandria, and Jerusalem were all but shut down, leaving Constantinople and Rome as the two remaining hubs of Christianity. Over time, a major divide grew between East and West. Now, I'm not going to attempt to delve into the theological and ritualistic complexities that led to this continental division of Christianity, but let's just say that the Christian church simply couldn't continue with two centers of authority, one in Constantinople and one in Rome. This set the stage for another significant event that shaped Christianity in Europe, the division of the church into two branches, Eastern and Western, culminating with the so-called Great Schism of 1054. In the end, the churches in the lands to the east, including present-day Russia, Romania, Serbia, Greece, Macedonia, Bulgaria, and Cyprus, aligned with various branches of the Eastern Orthodox Church, including Greek Orthodox and Russian Orthodox traditions. While the churches in the lands to the west, including present-day Portugal, Spain, France, Austria, and Italy, remained with the Roman Catholic Church and its authority centered in Rome. After the collapse of the Roman Empire, Italy broke up into smaller domains and city-states. This left many Italian coastal cities and villages vulnerable to attack by Islamic raiders. By the late 15th century, Italy faced a full-scale invasion by Ottoman forces, looking to spread Islam through all of Europe. The year was 1480. 27 years earlier, Mehmet the Conqueror raised minarets at the magnificent Hagia Sophia in Constantinople. Now he was ready to take Rome and raise minarets upon the incredible Basilica of St. Peter. But then, the Christian men of Otranto stepped into history. Otranto is a small fishing village on the west coast of the heel of Italy's Boot, which juts into the Mediterranean Sea. In the summer of 1480, the village found itself surrounded by a large Islamic invasion force. Mehmet the Conqueror wanted a beachhead on the Italian coast with a view toward conquering all of Italy and ultimately all of Europe. In a scene eerily similar to one that has played out in Christian villages of North Africa and the Middle East in recent years, Muslim forces gathered all 813 men of Otranto and marched them to a rise outside the city, the Hill of the Minerva. There they were given the ultimatum countless other Christians have faced over the last 14 centuries: submit to Islam or die. The first man refused, and the others watched him beheaded. The next man, now a witness to the consequences, was given the same choice. He too stood firm in his faith and was beheaded. One by one, all 813 men of Otranto died on August 14, 1480. Thereafter, the hill took on a new name, the Hill of the Martyrs. The man-by-man resistance of the little town of Otranto slowed the progress of the Ottoman armies just enough to allow the city-states of Italy and the kingdoms of France and Hungary to mount a counteroffensive. Within a year, the Ottoman forces at Otranto were driven back into the sea. From that time forward, Ottoman invasions of Europe would only come by land. For the next 200 years, the Islamic Ottoman Empire continued to press westward from Istanbul. By 1683, the Sultan's armies reached the Danube River and laid siege to the city of Vienna. The fall of Vienna would have opened the door to the Muslim conquest of all of Central Europe. At the last moment, a coalition of Christian nations, both Protestant and Catholic, showed up to defend Vienna and drive back the Muslim invasion.